We
Right on.
had several questions pop up, so I'm gonna ask a few here. Um, First one, I think this is kind of important. One that I think a
Hmm.
lot of people who are newer can kind of like check out or like learn from the greats here. So new bold one asks, relatively new player here. Never done a raid because the tight mechanics seem complex and very overwhelming to me. What currently available raid or dungeon would you recommend as a good place to start for a total raid newbie? Why don't we?
Any of the dungeons.
Oh yeah, any of the dungeons are great. Bana, in your experience, what would if you're taking somebody who's brand new in, what comes to mind immediately?
OG Vogue. I think
Yeah.
it gives um sort of even to sort of new people that sort of OG sort of originality sort of vibes for people. Um, it opens people up to jumping puzzle and just trying to hit bosses as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So I think in Last Wish and in Val, there's a lot of sort of call outs. There's a lot of communication that's going on
Right.
that can seem quite overwhelming to new players. Um, and Volk is one where you can pair up very very easily with in three groups of three pretty much throughout the entire group. So
Yeah.
use your buddy system. I think it's great for that, and that's definitely what if someone says they never done one before, I'm like, cool, let's go jump into a Volk.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go smash through. So and also saying that I'm also a firm believer of making people feel invincible
Mm-hmm.
and taking people into the deep end and jumping into something like Val, like straight away as well. So it all depends on the person and all depends on what they're comfortable with. But you need to you know give people the confidence to feel like they can smash it out and
Yeah.
Right.
prove them that they're wrong, that they can't do it. So
I think there's something that to be said. I think for power creep too, um, because earlier today somebody had asked to do a Shattered Throne, and I haven't run a Shattered Throne in ages, and took somebody in. They weren't like they were like, oh, I gotta pull up the map for the first room, like for all the things. I was like, buddy, I know where all of them are. I slogged through this guy by myself when
Yeah.
I did my solo.
Where we're
Um,
going, we don't need maps.
the just the pure like we melted, we annihilated the ogre boss. There
Yeah.
was nothing left of him. Somebody asked if that was like a mid strike boss, like when we were at it. It was
Oof.
insane. Just the amount of damage that you were able to put out, as well as like Dolan Karu really does not hold up
He gets
damage.
clapped.
Yeah. So like I would if I were introducing somebody to a dungeon, I'd be like, let's go do the granddaddy of dungeons. It's it's kind of dumb. You're gonna feel like super overpowered, but there's there are mechanics in there, and especially if you do like the optional bosses for
Right.
Wishinder in
Yeah.
there. That's like kind of a cool thing too.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think starting them with Shattered Throne, if you're gonna run dungeons, is a it's easy enough that they can get in, they can understand the mechanics. It's kind of low pressure now because of how powerful we are.
Oh yeah.
I remember when that darn ogre encounter was the hardest fight in the game to get through, especially to solo. And now it's I won't say a walk in the park, but a pleasant jog through the park is what that is what it feels like now. And as for raids, I think Bond is right on top of it. I think Vogue is like the perfect blueprint for a Bungie raid. It's got easy to understand mechanics that are repeated all throughout the raid. Everything that you learn from the very beginning is what you use all the way through it.
Mm-hmm.
And it works really well with Bungie's old school raid buddy system. Like it's you and a buddy sticking to a specific side, doing a specific objective until damage phase. I think Vogue is always a great one to start people with.
How would we feel about like DSC as a starter raid?
A little more complicated than Vogue.
Yeah, but like it
But not much
really
more complicated.
it really highlights the roles that you'll be taking
Yeah.
Mm.
the entire time.
I think that one teaches you communication better
Mm.
than Vogue would.
Mm.
Because communication's a much bigger part of DSC. Whereas for the most part, you're mostly just communicating really just during the Athean final
Yeah.
fight when you're trying to figure out the oracle positions and whatnot.
So
And
maybe
the-
maybe start with a nice Vogue run, and
Mhm.
then afterward be like, now that you've been through one, now that we've shaken off the rust,
Yeah.
why don't we you want to go to space?
Take them to outer space. Yeah, I dig that.
Yeah, I'd definitely say DSC. So there's the next one over like Garden or Garden or Last Wish. So how
Yeah.
many raids we have in? We have 5
There's
raids.
5 currently.
5.
Wow.
Yeah. Last Wish feeling, well, I don't know. After the past couple weeks, Last Wish kind of feels like maybe a half-hour television show. But like Vow has been, I've spent a lot of time in
Yeah.
Vow, as I'm sure you
Yeah.
have as well, Bana, and everybody else here on panel.
Nope.
Okay. Mr.
He
Four
got
Time.
his exotic and he got out. He's not
Mr.
going
Four
back.
Time over here.
He's
He's
not
good.
going
No,
back.
I still really need to run it more because I want that glaive in my life so bad.
Well, ain't gonna be me next week.